Hello, hello. Hi, message from the future Breniersa here. You will notice that the audio recording of this video is slightly off, and that is because I did not realize that the sound settings were different on my microphone. This microphone had broken for 2 recording episodes, and this is one of 2 videos where the audio will be a little off. I do apologize for this, but I still hope that you enjoy the interview to come.
This is Rolling Insight, where we will be exploring the TTRPG universe.
Hello, greetings. Welcome to Rolling Insight, exploring the TTRPG universe. Today, we have a special guest. They are an actor, a pluviophile. I hope I'm saying that right. They are a writer and director. They are a TTRPG TikTok creator, among other things. They are the former DM for the Silver Dragons Pub and Guild. They are, they have also been on Dungeons and Doggos, and they are on the Twitch service, or I'm not sure what you call that actually. They are on Twitch with ADH Adventures as the lovely Anthony Climpton. Please welcome the lovely, the illustrious PostModernBard.
Hello!
Hello.
How are you?
Hey there, hi there, ho there.
Ooh.
But hello.
And
Welcome.
I know we like to roll dice here, so I'm just gonna roll a die that I just got
What are
from
you rolling for?
Christmas. Just rolling.
What's the dice from? Let me see. You can't just say a new dice.
Ooh.
I love it.
They're
I
very
love it.
pretty.
Let me show you my favorite dice. Well,
Oh,
I have
yes,
many
please.
pretty dice,
Please.
but this is a D6. And this was made. Oh
I love
snap!
the
It's
font
not
on
there. This was actually won in a contest. Do you know Megan Okapi?
Yeah.
They won this in a contest online last year for Christmas, and rather than have it, they sent it to me to have, and I sent them. It came with 2. The people that sent it didn't know that we didn't live in the same country, and so they said we sent 2 dice so that y'all could play together. And so, and so there's a D20 and a D6, and so
That's so sweet.
I know we're in different parts of the world, but I have the D6 and Megan Okapi has the D20. I kept the D6 because I became attached to it, and I play with D6s more than D20s. So,
The font on there is really nice.
it's
That's one you could roll off the table and still read it.
It's a small business. I was looking because I have on my wall like things, letters, things that people have drawn. Oh, Merry
That's
Christmas,
cool.
Brand Mayor. I don't think it has the name of the small business though, but it was a small business that makes these dice, and it's lovely.
We gotta support the little guys. We gotta look out for each other.
We do. We gotta look out. Now, welcome to Exploring Insight, the TTRPG unit. Rolling Insight, exploring the. Welcome.
Oh, I got you. I'll use my thick voice here.
But
Welcome to Rolling Insight, exploring the TTRPG universe with your host, Bryn Nyersa.
I love it. Oh no, this mic is not.
Only
picking up
while
my
I'm
screams.
super sick.
Well, what if we're both sick? It's great. It's so funny on my interview with Sphinx. You can hear me. You can hear me slowly getting sick. Except,
Oh no!
like I start out good and then I start sneezing.
Worsening throughout the. Oh no!
Oh, it's great because I broke this microphone. I'm just a mess over here. So you're actually hearing me from my camera. Anyway, I need your voice. That's a really nice. I need the sick voice post. I need you to just sit there with your phone, and that's gonna. You think I'm joking? I want that after our interview.
Telephone poles so that I can stay sick.
No, you understand. I want you after this interview. I want you to take your microphone, just record that Rolling Insight, exploring the TTRPG universe, and then I will make something. I will make this. I will make a cool intro with Canva, and I will use your voice.
Do it. I'll get it sent to you.
Please!
While I'm still sick. I'll do it.
Oh,
I
I'm
also
so
love that you were
excited.
casting thematically there for a second.
I was what?
You were casting thematically there for just a second.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
I love it.
So I like to get started. Yes, we're getting started. We're getting started. We're being very official here, Post. We're being very official.
Very official. Yes.
Very. I like to break the ice. Not that we haven't, but I like to break the ice by modeling. I will answer any questions, or I will not answer questions, just whatever we're comfortable with. But I like you to be able to ask the first question. So ask me.
Well, you were just talking about, you just interviewed with Sphinx, and so I was curious what your opinion is of what makes a good champion of bards. What does that look like to Rin?
What does it look like to me? I think a good champion of bards needs to be able to tell stories that can apply to, apply's not the right word, but are able to touch or connect with someone. It doesn't have to be everyone. Like, I want stories to be able to go to everyone, but if it just hits one that needs it, I think that makes a good champion of bards.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. What
And
about
the rivalry continues.
The rivalry does continue. It's on. And you want to know what that troublemaker did? You want to know what the troublemaker did? No.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were interviewing just like this, Post. Just like this. You know what he did not tell me?
What's that?
That he could not see me. So like,
Buddy!
He was like, I was afraid he was going to mess something up. I'm like, Sphinx, I've left turned it off because there's some awkward moments where I'm like trying to read a facial response and he's not responding to me when I'm making silly faces. Like, there's a whole segment where I'm pulling out every instrument I own and he's not responding to me. I'm like, is he just not surprised by everything I have around my desk?
You set up
No.
so many props for this, Sphinx.
I did! And he did not tell me till after the camera. And I was like, okay, thank you. He's like, you want to know a secret? I was like, yeah. And he said, I couldn't see you the whole time. I was like, what?
The whole time.
The whole time? The whole time?
Oh, I guess it means you'll just have to do a follow-up interview.
I guess that does. I guess
Yeah.
I'll just have to introduce Sphinx again.
Exactly. We love Sphinx.
But we do love Sphinx, but we also love you. So tell me 3 things, random things about yourself.
Random.
Yeah.
Well, I do have interesting thumbs.
Interesting thumbs.
Taylor's laughing at me from across the room.
As she should.
I can pop them out a little bit. They are double jointed, yeah. And so I can set them in odd ways. And I used to try and scare people with them when we were bored. We got stuck in a fire drill that lasted over an hour. And so I went up to girls and would be like, oh, my thumb is broken. And they would run away screaming. And I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, middle school was rough. We've already shared I'm an actor. I have a newborn baby, and she's the best. Her name is Ember. She's about 2.5 months right now. She's also sick, but we're getting through it together. And then I don't post it very much, but I also have a very cute puppy dog named Winnie, who is equal parts named after Winnie the Pooh and Winifred Sanderson. Yeah, so Halloween time is very fun with our Winnie the Pooh.
We stand. And let's see if I can. I also have.
Oh, yes! Do you ever get where you're messing around with that and then your muscles start to lock and you're worried that they're not gonna release? Or is that just me?
No, I have a little bit of a worry. It might be a small worry, but it is there. I'm not just sure.
Because my muscles will start to strain and lock and pull themselves in. and then I have to go through a process of like releasing and relaxing the muscles so that my hands don't get locked in there double jointed. Not fun. So I don't do it very often.
It could be a little fun though. Just the mystery
I mean,
of
for
it.
a little bit.
Dang it. We're just too sickly. But no.
It's true.
We're doing this.
If you have a spare lesser restoration lying around, I think we could both use it.
Yes, definitely. But I do not. I do have this bracelet. It's very pretty.
I like it.
And actually, it is a cleric bracelet or paladin. I think it's a paladin. Take a look. See, it has dice. And is this more cleric or paladin to you?
My best guess would be
It has a
specific deity, so you could really do either with it. But I feel like I've seen that sun on more clerics than paladins.
Okay, so this is a cleric bracelet.
We need to set up a little like bracelet that has removable dice, so that you can be like wearing your dice and then pull it off and roll it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I was thinking magnets, but they're not strong enough, and those would just they would just fall off everywhere. But if we found some way to just like quick and easy attach and then safely reattach, so that we could just be like, oh yeah,
I love that.
Right?
I want it so bad. All right. Now we're gonna segue smoothly. We're segueing smoothly. I really feel like all my interviews are the same because I do this in my other. I'm just like,
That's
you know,
okay.
I'm keeping going. All right.
You're just establishing a style. That's all.
That's what I'm establishing, a style. That's what I'm doing. Now, you've heard my intro. You've had a little chance to tell me a little more about yourself. Is there anything else that you would like to say for your introduction?
As somebody in school who went to school for acting and everything else and had a lot of like preconceptions about what my path was going to be while not really having an idea of how the real world worked at the time, wrestling through constant changes and adaptions is really tough, but also really beautiful. So wherever you are and however you see anybody else in their journey, just know everybody, does not matter who they are or where they're at, everyone is making this up as they go along. And I'm definitely trying to embrace that. And so I'm a very messy creator because I like to create just what's in my heart at the moment, which helps me keep it as authentic as possible. So yeah, I'm a very messy creator and I'm working on improving that. But for now, I'm just kind of embracing the mess that is creativity.
I'm really jealous of your orange juice. Is that what you have?
Oh,
there?
this is an eggnog latte.
An eggnog latte. I'm not jealous of that. Never mind.
That's okay. It is a very acquired taste.
Now, how did you get into this? Being a part, you're primarily a tabletop role-playing TikToker, part of the community. How did you get into this part of the community and content creation?
With my approach to content in the first place was always kind of D&D oriented. And so it was very heavily influenced by my degree in acting, my want to like dive into characters and to show those off, but was definitely set within the format of Dungeons and Dragons and TTRPG and those spaces. And so the more that I kind of dove into how that mixed, it drove me into the TTRPG community more and more. And so it went from trying to just create content that was personal and fun and showcased my passion for the mixture of acting and D&D, and my engagement with everybody kind of created a funnel that took me right down into TTRPG, and I've been very happy to fall into that funnel. It's been a great one to be in.
It has.
It's a cool crew.
It is a really cool crew, all up in that community. What's changing? What's shifting? It's cool.
Mhm.
What motivated you to share it on the platform? Like all of your creativity?
That would be Taylor.
Oh.
Yeah, I I was in school for acting. I went to Idaho State University, and I went straight from there to California and was trying to make things work there. And I ran out of money. And so then I went and stayed with my brother, saved up some money, and then I went to New York and got a tiny bit of ground going with voice acting, but then again ran out of money and had to go home. And so I had been burning through basically all of my college career and then the following years after of this like heavy pursuit into acting. And so I started falling into this weird, not depression, but I definitely wasn't myself when I didn't have a script or some sort of acting element to be taking on and to fighting to express and to embody. And so not having some artistic venue of any kind, I was definitely out of sorts and not myself. And so Taylor recommended TikTok, and she was like, you can literally do anything you want on there. It's not just dancing. It's not how it's often advertised. You can literally do skits. There are other people who do D&D stuff on there. And she showed me a couple of things, and I was like, yeah, this will be fun. And jumped on and started making a couple of skits here and there, and just seeing how I could start to push myself in the writing element as opposed to fighting to earn parts that were already written. And so Taylor kind of pushed that to help balance my own personal kind of like mental and emotional turmoil. And I think it helped. We're still together, so she may have saved our relationship by making sure that I was mentally stable.
We stand. And y'all are so cute. Like adorable.
She's everything. I could not be where I am or have accomplished nearly as much without her.
Oh. Sorry, I'm a soft romantic, and I'm like, oh. Like, I still think that one TikTok you made where, like, I don't remember, she's like laying on a couch and you're just like all up in her space.
The love language?
Like, yes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're so cute.
That was 100% true as well. I am very much a physical touch, and that was new for her. So that was something that was a shift in a communication and a back and forth. And but she has gotten to the point now where if there isn't some form of physical touch that occurs, she's like, excuse me.
This is not what we discussed. I'm the same way. I'm a physical touch person.
Yeah.
So it's always funny around my friends because they're like, who has Bryn? And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, whose arm are you hooked around right now, Bryn? And I'm like,
yeah.
First of all, you're right.
Who's escorting Bryn right now?
There was a moment at Gen Con where Caitlin was panicked because she's like, oh my gosh, where's Bryn? Because she was holding on to me and I had wandered off, and we also had Dice with us. And I hadn't held on to either of them. I didn't know Dice too well, so I wasn't holding on to her. She's like, wait a minute, where is Bryn? And I was literally right behind her holding on to her backpack.
I love that that's kind of like a twofold, like, oh no, we're not getting our physical contact, but also like a, where did our chaos being disappear to?
Which is
and then the question comes up, is it for your protection that they're worried or everyone else's?
Caitlin has said that it's for my protection because I'm too relaxed around crowds and everything. Like, she has this one in her drafts. Can I tell you something about Gen Con Post? Can I?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So
we're living vicarious.
We were all dressed up for the Crit Awards, and me and Caitlin had to go home, and it was like back to our Airbnb. And it was a horror deal because everybody else had hotels, and we had to go get to our car to go drive back to the Airbnb. And so we were in an Uber, and apparently I'm just oblivious to all of this happening. And she is like, she's noting the Uber driver is taking us away from our car. And
Ooh,
she's like,
yeah, not
she's
good.
not good. And he's like, no, I missed your stop, so I'm gonna drive you around to be closer. She's like, no, we're getting out. In the meantime, I'm looking for something else. I have no idea this is occurring. And she's like, Bryn, come on. And so I follow her out of the car. I'm like 5 steps behind her because I can't even remember. I was looking for a scarf. It was like lost somewhere in my skirts. And apparently somebody was catcalling us. I didn't hear it all. I didn't hear it all. I just suddenly hear Caitlin losing it and shouting at these people in the car. And it's just like, come on, Bryn. I'm like, wait, what? And again, I'm like 5 steps behind because I'm looking for something. She's like, no, we have to get to our car right now.
Got 2 separate simultaneous adventures happening.
I know. And she's like, I have determined that you don't pay attention when other people are around because you feel too safe. But she also knows that I will lose it as soon as I know that she feels unsafe. She's like, we have to watch you because you don't pay attention. I'm like,
It just needs a little like safe word, and then Bryn's ready to fight. That's all that needs to happen.
I was ready. I was like, all that.
Exactly.
Jeez. Just trying to find my scarf. And we have.
Made it.
But yes, touch as a love language. We stand. We stand. Speaks better find me somebody. Anyway. Just not me
I'm waiting
announcing
to
that
hear.
on interview. Not me announcing that on interview. Anyway,
I'm waiting to hear that follow-up.
again moving seamlessly. How do you approach creating your content, and what do you enjoy most about it?
It's pure chaos at the moment. It's gone through a lot of different phases. I originally started out with like spoken skits and trying to do that, and then went down a rabbit hole of how other people are making successful content and things like that. And so I was trying kind of the baseline, like use these different tools or styles or approaches. And then I fell into some POVs, and then I was doing kind of like long form, where created original characters and was following through on their long-term like storylines and trying to share those in some semblance of an order, especially before they gave us the option to create playlists. And so it was just try to do them in order so that people can find them and they wouldn't get lost in just the mess of your page. And then it went into trying to kind of create for the online space I was trying to get started with Silver Dragons. And then as that kind of petered out, it's become really just kind of exploratory, I guess. And I think it's added to its very chaotic and messy nature. And it's something that I've, over the last couple months, been kind of like not stepping back, but definitely trying to take a removed look at and trying to reorganize and put an actual drive towards going forward. But it's gone through a lot of different metamorphoses that have been very life influenced. And so hopefully going forward, it's not just something that is fun and something that I'm feeling in the moment, but also driving towards something larger is my hope going forward. But at the moment, and the last few months, has definitely just been, I'm in a chaotic place. I'm just going to share something fun and enjoy it and let it be.
Oh, shit, sometimes that's the most fun part about it, just being like, ha ha, this is what you have. Which I'm mad that I'm sick because I had plans for these. I've had 2 weeks off and I was just sick for both of them.
Oh, it's the worst when that lines up.
Worst.
Because I'd rather be sick and dealing with work that I don't really care about. And then have my good health while I'm doing the stuff that I'm excited about. But that's never how it works. That's never how it goes.
It's never how it goes, and it's not fair.
It's really not.
It's not. It's not. If I had that eggnog thing, I would throw it right now. Because it's not fair. But, yay!
Right out the window.
Just, you don't get this because life's not fair, post. That's right.
Full metaphor wrapped up in one drink.
What has been your favorite creation so far?
Oh man. Tied primarily to the TikTok approach of everything.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm saying overall, what's your favorite? I mean,
I
you
think
made a table. That could be your favorite. I don't know.
yeah, I'd love a good table.
I don't know.
I've been working towards building up. I have a lot of things like saved and ideas conceptualized, and I've tested out a few variations on it, but I'm driving towards creating something of a space for the first time, which will be really, really nice. And it keeps changing because I am broke. And so I definitely start with like this would be so cool. And then I step into that space and I go, I can't afford that or that. Any of those, scrap that. And so I'm paring it down to what I think I could actually accomplish, but still have a space that feels lived in. And pretty much all of my approach when I'm purchasing things, even if it is with D&D, TikTok, and stuff like that in mind, it's definitely something that has to be something that is used outside of it. And so it needs to be something that I'm using in my day-to-day life that I can also happen to use for videos and TikToks and fun things like that. And so it's been fun kind of finding the pairing of blending life and content and things like that to make sure I'm not wasting money or throwing things away or wasting time and research and all of that. But I think past creations, a lot of the OCs that I had, I think were fun because of a lot of the engagement that was created through them. That like ones with like Stellan and others that individuals got to kind of latch onto. You and I have back and forth with Jade, which is fun. And those ones were particularly nice because I think other creators who latched onto those were also in the same mind of like, we don't need to create a laid out canonical storyline. We just understand the basis of who these characters are and what they are to each other. And through that, we create scenarios or mini stories or random events that they do together. And that was really fun and inspiring of a lot of additional creativity and thoughts and videos. And I think that was one of the more rewarding sets of like character stuff that came from TikTok.
And I think the fun part about seeing you create in particular posts is you can see, like, when you're really into something, I can tell that your love is like showing through the screen in what you are doing. Like there's some I'm like, oh, this man is tired. But there's some I'm like, oh, he really loved making this.
I am very expressive, and yeah, sometimes I definitely don't have the energy for certain videos, and I am catering more to the algorithmic aspect of things. Like, I haven't posted in a bit, I gotta get something out there, what about this? And then there are definitely others where at one point, either day of or like the week before or whatever else, an idea came to mind, and I was like, oh, this would be so fun. And there's that like naturally driven need to do it. Those are a lot more fun, but yeah, I'm pretty expressive. It's pretty easy to tell when when I'm invested in it and when I'm not.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Sorry, there's no sugar in it. Awkward pause. I'm sorry, everybody.
No,
I didn't mean to call you out. I don't know. I was just saying, I can tell when you really... I'm moving on.
Not a call out at all.
I'm moving.
Completely great.
What is this? Okay. Anyway.
The tough ones are when I had an idea that was super exciting, that I was really, really driven to do. And then I get in the space and I do a bunch of different things and it's not working. Whether it's lighting that just makes it look terrible, the feeling isn't coming across, I can't get a little piece of it working. Those are the worst, where it was an idea that I was so excited about, but in the application, I just cannot get a piece of it done or can't get it to work in a way. And then it turns into one of the ones that just doesn't quite land. And then I'm like, well, I put so much time and emotional energy into it, and I was so excited for it, and now I've got this. And I'm like, but I might as well post it because I put so much work into it. Those ones are the worst.
I feel that. I've been there. I feel it. My sympathies, my empathy, all of it. You have.
That's definitely what I'm sure every creator out there is like, yeah, no.
How?
All of us just staring at our drafts.
Yes. Sorry, I say that because I have 55 in my drafts and I'm posting none of them.
Man.
None of them will I post.
I actually don't.
You
I actually don't
draft.
use drafts.
You don't. I remember we had that conversation. Please tell the audience while I double check how many drafts I have. Never mind, I have 43. Please tell the audience why you don't have drafts.
There's so many times in stories where people have built up drafts, and I've heard of people, they've had 15 in there, and I've heard of people getting like multiple hundred videos created and made in drafts. And I do get it, especially for when you're trying to cater to the algorithm, and the algorithm likes a certain number per day or in a certain way. So I totally get when you only have like 1 day or 2 days a week to invest in it, and you do your film days. So you build those up so that throughout the week you can be posting those. I've just heard so many stories of people who have had tens, if not hundreds, in their drafts, and an update shows up, or something happens with their Wi-Fi and they log into their TikTok and they're all just gone. And I hate the concept of that. That would drive me mad. And so I don't bother with it. Just knowing that anything that I could invest so much time in, the app could just be like, meh. And yeet. I mean, that gets close to several days worth of work that it can just in an instant. And so I don't know. I feel like I would rather spend less time per day making that stuff and making sure it gets out there, and then killing myself in a couple of days of work and then have nothing to show for it afterwards that had nothing to do with me. Wasn't my fault. It was just, oh yeah, I updated it and now hours worth of work are gone.
And that's happened to me, and partially why some of these will never be released.
And like, if it were super rare, I would say that would be me living in fear. But it happens so frequently that it just seems like a high risk to use drafts. I'll use drafts if I'm in the middle of editing and we need to go somewhere. I'll throw it in a draft and then I'll finish it up that day.
Yeah.
But I don't keep anything in my drafts for more than 24 hours.
You are better than
Which is... No, I'm not. It adds to stress, because if I am putting a larger effort on catering to the algorithm, then I do have a daily stress of like, I need to get something out today. And so I think there is a lot of possible healthy approaches to doing, several and then allowing yourself to just post those throughout the week. I think that can alleviate a lot of stress if you do it in a certain way. But yeah, that is kind of the trade-off, is that daily, if it's getting towards the end of the night and I haven't even started on a video yet, I have to decide, is it worth pushing myself and going late and getting something out there, even if I don't have anything that I feel encouraged or inspired to make, or do I just take care of myself and go to sleep?
But you should always go to sleep. Sorry. You should always choose sleep. I love sleep.
Probably.
And I just checked my drafts again. None of them. Hold up. Am I talking too loud?
Never.
Oh, I was hearing myself double for a second. Anyway. Oh no, it's you.
It's me?
I'm hearing myself through you.
Oh. What do I need to do?
I don't know. I'll talk quieter. There we go. Okay, we're talking quieter. Anyway.
Let me know how I can fix it.
I think it's literally I need not to talk so loud. Because your mic is picking me up. Oh, there it is. So, I was just checking my drafts. It's mostly private memes I send to my friends.
That's incredible.
But
That's what drafts should be used for.
that's what they are for. Because I didn't get to film like I wanted, and so I'm like, ugh. But I'm the approach that you say. I film every once in a while, and then I have them built up. When I want to film, like if I have an idea that I have to do right then and there, I still do it. But otherwise, I try to limit myself so I'm not doing that all the time. But
And do you find that kind of like reduces daily stress so that when you get that built up, you're not, thinking about it either all day or late at the night, keeping you up? And
because let me show you what I do. You've probably heard of my spreadsheets.
I have heard tale of the spreadsheets.
Well, now they let you put videos in collections. So now I have all these sounds saved up for all my different characters. Like,
That's really cool. That's really smart.
Or different scenarios. So I have like 335 audios for the Raven Queen. I have
Mine, I
47.
have a folder for what I show to Taylor, so I build those up, and then we do like a share party.
We love this. We love this.
And then I've got one for like D&D inspiration of like, I thought that was cool. Let me hold on to that for later. I have one that's listed to duet. So like ones where I'm like, I need to duet this. And so I put it in a folder to duet those later. I always forget that I have that. And then I never duet anything. And then it gets to a point where it's been like 6 months and I'm like, I feel like it'd be awkward if I duetted it now. It's been so long.
You do what you want. You do what you want. Icon behavior.
It took me 6 months, but I'm finally inspired.
You think I'm kidding? Duet what you want. I demand to see one of those duets today. That's what I demand.
No.
Yes. No, you're sick.
Let's see
Never
what I
mind. Never mind. You're
Let's see
sick.
what I got. Well, I mean, a duet doesn't need my voice, so that'll help.
Well, what if you're tired?
No, it's just the throat right now. I just duetted him. I shouldn't do that. I know what I can do.
What can you do?
Oh, you'll see.
I'll see.
You'll be notified.
Okay. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
by
What
that?
I mean? What do you mean?
No,
What does
you
it mean?
can't
What
do
do you
it.
mean?
No. Dang it! You cannot be a menace all the time. Gosh dang it, PostModernBard.
It defines who I am.
Taylor. And speaking of how you're interacting with me, how do you what is your favorite part about the TTRPG community?
This was a few years ago, but do you remember the like wholesome, like backwards, the challenge attempt to get people's followers up?
Yes,
There's a trend.
positivity war.
Yeah, in general, there's a trend that I think in all social media kind of like comes and goes, where you set challenges and you put in these weird like caveats of like, if I get to this many followers at this point, I'll do this, or this many followers at this point, I'll do this. I am unaware of or have never seen any other community that did positivity wars, wherein they did that on the behalf of others, where they were like, I'm fine, but if this creator gets to this many followers, I will do this awkward, creative, or embarrassing thing on behalf of a celebration of them achieving this. I've never seen any other community do that, and that was, I think, the coolest thing to see and be a part of being like, yeah, let's get these guys boosted. I really love this person, and I don't feel that this space is doing them justice, and so I will put myself on the line in some way to get them seen, to get them noticed, to help them expand in this community. I thought that was the coolest thing, and I really have never seen that anywhere else.
That is really nice. I remember
Right?
that.
I think that was peak D&D TikTok. There was all of us just being like, no, we're taking care of each other. We'll be fine. The algorithm hates our community. So at the very least, we're going to try and like boost one of our friends up and see how high we can get them. That was a cool time to be a part of the app.
It was. And it was fun watching too.
Yeah, it was.
Just seeing everybody get so angry, like, how dare you? I'm trying to boost you up. Well, I'm boosting you up.
Mm-hmm.
Legit anger.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This will not stand.
This will not stand. So, it's throwing me off. Hold on. Shh. Why can I hear myself? It is you, because it's coming from desktop audio. I'm sorry, everybody. This is what it is. Neither of us know what we're doing.
Like I said, we're all making this up as we go.
So you have been in a variety of campaigns and all that. Can you tell me one or two memorable moments from these experiences that just kind of you remember and you're like, that was a moment?
One of my formative ones, I guess, was one of my earlier campaigns with a group that I still get to run with, which is a lot of fun. And I was playing a sorcerer who focused heavily on fire, and I'd built out little pieces of their backstory, but still kind of approached D&D in this form of like, I'm just gonna do everything in the most chaotic way possible. Partly because that was fun, but also partly because it gave me license to kind of figure things out through experiencing them. Just because that's my best way of understanding it is, instead of sitting down and reading through all the rules, I'm gonna just be like, this seems fun. What happens when I attempt this, and how do we accomplish it? Which gave us the time to be like, okay, so we're gonna do this, this, and this. Okay, so you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, and then we're gonna see if that works. And so that was just kind of how I approached learning the game, was being chaotic and having a character that was just so fluid and open that it helped me learn as they were just trying random things. And it was definitely one of those characters who was out there and kind of crazy. And I had also kind of built them in the intent of kind of exploring other aspects of myself that I'd never gotten to experience before. And to see what I would do when they reached certain places and things like that, when I was feeling certain ways. But the DM had done a lot of fun twists with my backstory, and one of our primary antagonists ended up being his sister. And she was not the BBEG, but she was a recurring antagonist who kept thwarting the party and was growing in power and level in tandem with us as we were going up. It was really fun. It was really, really fun. And as a part of things in the background, she had a lot of animosity earned towards my character. And I had started out in this mentality of like, you know what, we're siblings, we'll figure it out at one point, despite the fact that she was very clear that she was attacking and intending to harm my character. And at one point was able to, I think, send someone that dropped him to 0. I can't remember if it was a bounty hunter or a spell or something unique, but him dropping to 0 ended the event, and they were able to bring me back pretty quickly. And that transitioned him to be like, I guess, you know what, if it does come down to it, it is a her or me scenario. And so that shift was interesting to take on. And then we spent several sessions where I was in that mindset of like, when we encounter her again, it's all hands on deck, and it's her versus me, and that's just how it is. And then, of course, the party gets captured through shenanigans and insanity. That was entirely my fault, which was a lot of fun. And it was with, we didn't understand it at the time, but they were the BBEG. And we're there in the dungeon, we're working through our escape, and we're breaking our way out. And then we actually find her there, also captured. actively being tortured, barely alive. And I'm there with nearly topped off spell slots. We're doing great. I have a one-on-one time with her. And it's been sessions now of building up this mentality of, if I get the chance, it's her versus me, end of story. And I think this was the first crossover where I was able to really just be like, to let go of being a person at the table and just finally stepped into the character, and just standing there and looking down and seeing the state that she was in. And despite everything that we had decided and talked about, just could not bring myself to deliver a final blow, and gave up huge chunks of spell slots to heal her up, to bring her to standing. We helped her escape with us, and then we had this like parting of ways where we weren't really sure what to do with one another as brother and sister, and so we just kind of parted ways so that we could both kind of figure things out on our own. And that one has always stuck with me, just because definitely a character that was meant to explore how the game worked, but freed me up in a moment to just drive back into acting, into who the character was, as opposed to me just being ridiculous at a table. And so that one's always really stuck with me.
That sounds like an amazing moment, honestly.
It was nuts. It was fun seeing my DM surprised, because we had surprised him so many times, and I think that it was a big shock when I made the commitment to be like, nah, if we see her, we take her down. That was a huge like, okay. And then he got it reaffirmed several sessions worth, and then got there, and then I did that, and now he's like, what is happening? We just went through all of, I laid groundwork for him, and then I pivoted 90 degrees, but I think in the best way.
That's the magic about tabletop games, especially when you get into your character and you're truly like, and not in the menace way where you're like, this is what my character would do. You're just like, well, this is how my character would react. It's not me making this decision with all this information. This is what's going to happen.
Yeah. This is where they're at emotionally. This is the influences that they are taking in and processing. This is, it's crazy.
In all these games you explore, which one's your favorite? Like, what's your favorite tabletop game?
I started with 3.5 and tried to go back to 3.5 once, and it's the worst. It's so much. I had a group that they were getting together, and the guy came up and he was like, I know you've played 3.5, would you mind coming in and doing this with us, because they've only played 5th, and I want someone to help kind of like bridge the gap and talk them through things. And I was like, yeah. And we were doing a 0 session, and I was like, all right, we'll build up a couple of characters real quick and then get playing. I forgot that it takes like 10 plus hours just to build your character and do the math of their stats and it's a grind. So jumping into 5th is so nice coming from 3.5. And I haven't done a whole lot of exploration outside of that, with one exception being 13th Age, which only a few people I've come across have also encountered. But that one, it feels a lot like 5th. I believe it came out around the same time, if not a little bit before. But it was very much designed to be more about the storytelling, more about who these characters are and what's interesting about them. And it definitely allows for a little bit more of these guys are overpowered in this world. They play around with like splash damage from these heavy hits and blows. It leans a little more anime. But that one's still one of my absolute favorites. And I think one of the key factors in that is that when you're building your character, one of the things that the module or the core rules set up and encourage your DM to ask is they say, okay, if you've got this character, give them something unique. If your character is exactly the same on paper as somebody else, what is it that makes them unique or different? Stop thinking about the mechanics, stop thinking about this. What truly makes this individual unique? And I loved that prompt, and I think it's one that in some ways we're like, well, obviously that's what we're thinking about and putting forward. But to have the game be like, no, take some creative license. I think at the very beginning puts you in the right mindset of like, let's, take some responsibility for our character. Let's get invested and excited about their building and who they're going to be and what they're going to be like. So I feel like it built up towards that really, really nicely. And I got to play that a couple of times. And it's fun. It's fast paced and it's more about the narrative, but the fights are ridiculous and out there and entertaining. So I'm very connected to 5e because I feel it has a great balance of narrative and mechanic. I've heard others do better at certain things than others, but I do have a very special place for 13th Age.
I'm gonna get you to try some other games sometime, though.
I would love that. I really need to.
Because I feel like there's 3 games off the top of my head that I think you would be very into, based on what you just told me about 13th Age.
13th Age is so fun,
yeah,
but it's basically 5e. It's basically 5e.
No, we gonna get you to play some other games too. But I love that.
I need it. I really need the exposure to more.
But speaking of the future, what projects can we anticipate? Sorry, I keep looking this way. My cats are now trying to get into the room. What projects can we anticipate seeing from you in the future?
Oh man. I created what was intended to be a short film and proof of concept that, as I was going about it, it's designed to be a proof of concept for a television series or an episodic series. And so as I was going about that and realizing how broke I am, I realized that as a proof of concept, it is supposed to accurately reflect the end goal of what it is you're trying to create. And so I broke up what was going to be a short film and decided, why don't I make it a 3-part episodic so that it does reflect the stylistic elements of what I'm trying to, in the end goal, actually create. And the first episode is done as far as filming and production and everything else, and it's in post-production now. And I have it all compiled and notarized and sent off to an editor, and he and I are going to start weekly kind of getting together and seeing how things are progressing and making sure we're on the same page with everything. So that first episode will be out sometime in this coming year. I'm not sure how long that'll be, but it feels really good to have my end of that basically done and to be able to sit back and let somebody else do some groundwork for a little bit and just be like, can you make this little tweak or this adjustment? After an insane amount of mental and physical and financial investment put into it, it'll be really cool to see that come forward. And that'll be up on YouTube. I've been putting a lot of time and work into trying to understand what I want my content to be and how my presence should be in the social media space. So I have an idea now for like a daily post on TikTok that'll be kind of light and low key, but I think it'll be kind of fun. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
It will be fun. If you're excited about it, it will be fun. Listen
It'll be
to
so
me.
fun.
It will be fun.
So fun.
It will be. Post what you want to post. And
Okay, okay.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
I'm also trying to figure out, how social media works. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can utilize it basically like a production company so that I'm trying to put time and actual thought into doing some writing and building out of things so that I can start posting a mixture of sketches, of potentially podcast and episodic series, short films and the like. It's a lot of conceptual right now that I'm trying to figure out how to find time to make physical. But I'm excited at the prospects of it because I would really like to start using the tools that I have to build up something that kind of reflects almost like a production company, even though it's just me in a loft and a phone. So I'm trying to drive towards that.
We stand all of this. Go get it.
Thank you.
Icon. Don't laugh.
No.
You are an icon.
No.
You are doing all of these things. So you should know it is iconic.
Thank you.
There you go. It's on... What in the world? What did I write here? Sorry. There was a sticky note
Me
that
looking at any of my D&D notes.
That's literally... Speaking
What
of...
is
hold
this?
Hold up. Let me show you something. No, yes. I did this to Tim. You want to see my D&D notes? Ta-da!
That's amazing.
All my interviews really are the same, anyway.
You just have cool things to show off. That's all.
Ooh, let me show you this. Let me show you this. I think you probably know. This is my wall. That's where, under that dagger, is usually where your pub thing hangs.
I have not seen this. This is so cool.
That is Savage's up there with his
Hi,
stag.
Savage.
That is my BBG people really like right there. Gil and Relic, Nergui. Somebody drew that.
Heck yeah.
And oh, that's Evil Jade and Nergui actually right there. Somebody drew
Evil
that.
Jade.
Banter
Nergui
and
is unmatched.
Calabast.
Oh.
And Genevieve.
Oh. That's a cool wall.
Mwah.
I like it. I like it a lot.
But so as you're making your space, this is mine. So we are going to see lots of things from you in the future.
Lots of things. Lots and lots of things. All while balancing and figuring out how to be a dad and to try and maintain my status as a good hubby.
That is vital, I feel.
Yeah.
That's extremely vital.
Yes.
I see all these people on social media and I'm just wondering how you all do that. I'm by myself here. I got no real life friends. All my friends are online. And I'm like, how do these people with a child, husband, friends? I'm like, how do
I'm
you
so
all do it?
thrown.
How do you do it?
Right now I
most?
can barely get like one video out on TikTok a week and then occasional like some like writing and prep. And then I see people who are like, oh yeah, I've got a kid and this and this and this and I'm working from home and I'm doing this. I'm like, how are you doing? How are you doing this?
Sounds like we both need advice from somebody. Like, how are you doing that?
Somebody, yeah. Either that or they've figured out some way to duplicate themselves. Something.
Is there a question that you wish that I had asked you, or something that you find that right now you want to share?
Hmm. Well, I have a small question, I guess, for you.
For me?
Yeah. Because this is fun and an awesome opportunity for both of us. One, just to hang out, and then to be able to dive deeper into a lot of little things here and there for us individually. What would be the dream of Rolling Insight for you?
I want to create a space where, kind of earlier how I answered with what I think would make the good champion bards. I want to create a space where people can find something that, or someone that speaks to them. Because, like right now, I'm just reaching out to my friends who, like, will, that I'm like, hey, can I interview you? But I bet somewhere out there, there's a creator that is perfect for somebody that doesn't know that their content is there. I want to be able to have a platform where people can share things that they would like to share, because there's not, like, the community has so much out there that it's hard to find what you're looking for sometimes. So I want to create a space where voices can be heard, and people find out about other people. That's kind of what I hope can be seen with Rolling Insight, exploring the TTRPG universe.
That's cool. You're building up a community hub.
Maybe, I don't know. Just
Really cool.
hello, this is a cool person here. Go check them out.
Interviewed by an even cooler person.
But that basks in obscurity.
She is the NPC under the hood.
That's exactly what I am. That's a good way.
corner.
I am NPC. I am NPC. I am that one that you will
The party's
talk
favorite
to.
NPC.
Just bask in obscurity. Just like, here, I will sell you this candle. This is not a candle. Where's my candle? There's my candle.
They pulled back their hood.
My candle.
Luckily, underneath was a smaller, just as dark hood.
Yes. I also have this mushroom.
That's cool.
I'm like, here, I'm the NPC that gives you a mushroom.
That's very fey.
That's very fey of me. Well, thank you for being here today, Post.
Thank you for having me.
You've been the only one so far that has not had something I wish you. You have been the only one that has had a question for me at the end so far.
Well, I was
Usually there's
curious.
something. But wait, is there something you wish to say, or that you wish I had asked? You don't have to have something. I was just curious.
No, you've covered a great swath.
Swath? What's that?
A wide array.
What is swath?
Like a
New-
swath of land, a nice
new-
wide spread.
New word unlocked. Swath. Swath.
I don't know if I'm using it correctly.
I've never heard that word, so it's correct to me. I was like, swath.
Let me make sure I get it.
No, this is the word now. Thank you so much for being here today. This has been PostModernBard. Wah wah wah.
PostModernBard.
Huh?
PostModern.
What?
Oh, I'm just saying my name weird.
Oh.
PostModernBard.
PostModernBard. You know, that just reminded me of Scruffy.
The true chaos.
I don't know, my FYP's messed up right now. And so the duet you did of my duet with you, where he is undercover Scruffy, popped up on my FYP.
One of my favorites.
And just the rage when he takes off his sunglasses, like,
One of my favorites I've done.
I was like,
Mine's been
okay.
weird where I'll like a video and then that video will come up 3 more times. I'm like,
Yes.
mine's been doing that a lot lately.
Same. So I'm just like, whatever. My FYP will be what it will be. I've not opened it lately because I'm like, I want to film, but I'm sick. So I'm like, eh.
It's all just ads right now anyway.
Oh, sad.
Yeah.
But thank
I
you.
think every 9th one is like, hey, you need to buy these pants or this sweater. I'm like, I can't afford either.
I'm not
Thank you,
buying
though.
anything from here. That's what I tell them. I'm like, no. I'm just here for the vibes.
Just here for the
I'm
vibes.
just here for the vibes. That's all. But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We'll keep an eye out for your future projects and all of that jazz.
All that jazz.
All that jazz.
You ran into my knife 10 times. Quite the
What
divergence
a
there.
coincidence. And thank you, everyone. See y'all later. Goodbye.
Adios.